So you've heard a lot about barefoot shoes, and by now it's all over, and a lot of people are making barefoot shoes. And I have been asked which is my favorite barefoot shoe trainer. So I've had quite a few experience buying barefoot shoes over the past few years because I've switched over completely. So I figure I'd go through the ones that I have and tell you why the, my favorite barefoot shoe is this barefoot trainer made by TYR. This is the Squat University version, but I'm gonna go through the barefoot my evolution and show you why I ended up where I ended up. So currently, the ones that I have are that TYR, these Lems, these birch berries, and these zeros, which were my first pair. Um, I will say these aren't bad. I started off my sprint journey with these. The only thing I didn't like is the sole doesn't have a lot of lateral support. So when I walk, I feel like I was rolling or losing balance. Now, when you haven't been walking barefoot and you switch, your feet are going to have to start evolving to adapt to grip and be flat on the ground. So that might have been part of it, but eventually I moved away from this. But it was a good start. No knock against the product, but as part of the evolution of the market, one product comes out and other people evolve the product. I I got Birchberry just to be around town, so not just for my training shoe I did barefoot. I wanted to have my casual and going out shoes to be barefoot as well. I used to wear boots going out. So these Birchberries are cool. They're a nice fly color, nice green sole. So I get these. I'm out with, if I go out to dinner or for a drink with friends, anything social, I wear these. And these are very comfortable. Nice leather and nice sole, very comfortable sole, very, very confident feeling. Not too hard if you have to walk a lot. And they also make a dress shoe with a fake heel, but it's really zero drop. And I have that for more formal events. But I wear these if I'm going out. I did buy these Lems as well. But for some reason, I wear these out more. These Lems have a thicker sole. This one is a little flatter. I feel just a little more bouncy, close to the ground. I wear these at home a lot, but I have worn these out. So both of these are good options for socializing. However, when this shoe came out, I waited a while, and I know since my Squat University friend helped design the shoe, this was going to be a great training shoe. And I happened to buy it at the same time my buddy bought one for his girlfriend. I never get white sneakers. I opted for this one. It got dirty fast. But I have to say, once I bought this went into the closet. This is probably one of the best trainers I've ever bought. The zero drop is nice. I love the Velcro. Call me an old man. But it's nice to not have laces. I tighten and forget. And once I put these on, I never have to readjust or tighten them ever again. And there's cloth inlays in here. It's very porous and windy. So I'm in Florida. I train in Florida in the heat. So that's not bad, but it rains every evening here. So the bad thing is I can't really wear these if it's very wet out because it'll get my socks wet. That's the only downside. The sole is amazing. I don't know how they did it, but you see how it wraps around? So there's less lateral or rolling. And also the material is pliable enough. So you see that bend there? It's very easy. Now I sprint, so a lot of this is around athletic movement. It's very easy to get that angle with the toe and get that pressure on the big toe to stimulate that windlass mechanism for running and for sprinting and jumping. So this shoe lends itself to athletics and force production and power development and movement. Laterally, it's very good. You don't roll. And this material, you notice, doesn't have a lot of treading, but it's very sticky. I've walked on various wet surfaces. You know, you get some shoes that slide. They have tread on them, but when you walk on a certain wet surface, like in a bathroom in a gym, they'll start sliding. No, this thing stays grippy no matter what. And it just feels very planted. It's a perfect combination between feeling the ground with the balls of your foot and your heel, and getting enough, not being so thin so there's no shock absorbing. So this shoe, I actually like this more than this one. It's much more, because it's snug and holds you like a sock, which it is kind of cloth. But the only reason I wear that is that offers more water protection. That's a little more, that looks pretty fly, you know. This gets dirty fast. So I may buy a black one just to tool around town. But this shoe feels amazing. I have to say, once you put this on and you get accustomed to it, you won't want to take it off. There is a trainer at my gym who has one, and he loves it, swears by it as well. So what I do with these, I do line drills and dynamic warm-ups and 10-meter runs, sprints. I do it on artificial turf, on the turf in the gym, on an artificial turf soccer field, and natural turf, grass, and concrete. I walk on everything with this. I do dynamic warm-ups. There's enough geometry and enough efficiency for you to do plyometrics. I do plyometrics a lot. I jump a lot with this. I bounce a lot with this, and I will do my sprint warm-ups, and then I switch to my spikes. So this is by far my favorite shoe. I'm actually going to buy a second one, a black color. So if you're asking, hey, I want to buy a barefoot style shoe all around, if you're just doing walking, power walking, sprinting, training, any kind of training, I highly recommend this. Now, if you're a lifter, which I came from lifting, see how big that heel is. This was, when I was into lifting a lot, I only wore this. If you saw me in the gym, I had this on all the time. I got accustomed to this shoe. So that heel offers you a huge advantage for dialing in the quads and the VMO, changing your geometry. This is perfect for Olympic lifting. So the downside I found switching to a barefoot sole is, without this, your calves and your Achilles have to stretch more. You need a little bit more ankle mobility, right? So you lose that by switching to this. Your body has to adapt. So your squat geometry completely changes. So this depends on your sport. If your sport or your training calls for heavy strength training, deep squats, you may want to switch out and squat with that. However, once you adapt to squatting barefoot, which is the natural human way, and you get that nice stretch in your Achilles, and you get that ankle mobility and knee mobility to allow you to do an equally biomechanical squat with a flat shoe, I would think you don't want to lose that mobility. So I've actually put this in a closet 4 years ago and never gone back to it. So if I squat, I kept challenging myself to a barefoot style shoe to squat. There's a lot of people who squat in their socks, power lifters. So that's the trade-off. But like I said, if my training block went back to where I was squatting heavier than 185, I would need to go back to that. I think, just to make the squat more efficient for the muscle groups it wants to target, but that's not really something I need now. So that's the only difference between this and a dedicated positive drop squat shoe. And again, it's down to your training block. If you're a master's athlete, you're probably not lifting heavy. And I would say if you've gotten your lower legs accustomed to the mobility to squat with this, I would say keep it. Because in the long run, having that mobility is going to be a little bit better for you. And everyone I know who's hit 50 and up, they're backing off from heavy lifting. So I would say keep with this. So that's my talk on shoes. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you've tried. If you have any questions, put it in the comments.